or I don't like the script because dal roti chalani hai, EMI bharna hai. By 2026-27, it is going to be 2 in 3. But the economic insecurity in an industry like cinema, that when I leveraged my brand, when I leveraged my association there, you're at the right platform here at Franchise India. Gaurav and Ritu have been trailblazers in this space. I think we associated, 10 years ago? So we have a company together called Ichakdana Foods, which is apparently doing really, really well. It was a vision that I had no clue. I sat for a lunch with Gaurav and Ritu, and they just gave me a whole perspective on how I can leverage my brand. And actually, if you ask me, the first ever brand leveraging that I did was with Franchise India for Ichakdana Foods. And now we're talking about a portfolio of companies in there that are potentially IPO ready, because these guys have done a great job. So you're at the right place. What is your model? How do you want to sell it?
So how do you manage this balance, of being in cinema as well as being in thinking entrepreneurial and crunching numbers on the side?
I think a lot of people in the audience have experienced some degree of economic and financial insecurity in their lives. The film industry has been that kind of industry where one night you feel like you've made it, everybody lining up behind you, spending crores for your time, and then you have a patch, which could be for whatever reasons, but you have a lean patch, and you realize, oh, I'm not doing too well, am I? But the economic insecurity in an industry like cinema is not commensurate to the brand. But that awareness is a big equity that people underestimate. And the minute you associate that equity, and it creates a massive impact when you walk into the room and you say, I'm a co-founder or I'm a substantial investor in a company, that when I leveraged my brand, when I leveraged my association there, it had a positive social impact which was authentic to who I am. This is what has empowered me today to be in a situation where I don't need to do a movie that I don't believe in, or I don't like the script because dal roti chalani hai, EMI bharna hai.
How are you breaking the perception at Solitario of the fact that diamond is an asset? Diamond or any form of gold was looked at as an asset.
The most key word that you said there was perception. So people have spent hundreds of millions of dollars to make you perceive that the diamond is an asset by creating artificial scarcity. That bubble has burst. Today, as of 2023, 1 in 3 engagement rings sold across the Western and developing world are lab-grown diamonds. 1 in 3. By 2026-27, it is going to be 2 in 3.
What I would love for you to know is that, you got cinema, you've got real estate, you've got lab-grown diamonds in Solitario, and then you're also an angel investor, and you've got a bunch of businesses and startups that you invest in. So how do you sort of manage to do all of this while trying to do justice to each one of these key ventures that you're part of?
I think with the kind of commitment that I generally bring to the table, the most qualified title would be underpaid co-founder. I love seeing what we can do, how to visualize a business like it hasn't been done before. I think that's where the delta lies. A lot of us try to mimic what others have done.
So what other sectors are you really gung-ho about in startups? I know you've been serious angel investor for the last many years.
I said the sector can't thrive. There's no sunrise sector here. Everything, just because you thought of it, is not really an opportunity. You have to do a full detailed analysis. I'm a very data-driven guy. What you've learned is only return on equity and return on investment. But what we've forgotten is roti. Roti is the most important thing. I've been talking about roti for the last 15 years. Return on time invested. That's the only thing that we all have finite. Every minute that you waste in reaching your destination most efficiently is a minute you could have invested in your dream, is a minute you could have enjoyed your life with. You could have had a wholesome experience. So roti is very important. Ask yourself, am I being really honest with my time? Because unfortunately, when we are young, we think that time is free. Time is not free.
The the fact that I cannot believe it. You think of all this when you're actually filming a scene. So, that is really the anomaly over here.